This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Thursday, November 13th. Mostly sunny and a little warmer today with a high of 82. A few wispy clouds will drift past this evening, but otherwise the sky will be mostly clear with a low of 63. Here are today's headlines. Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer confirmed during a Wednesday news conference that Marshawn Kneeland's girlfriend, Catalina, is pregnant. Kneeland died last week from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at 24, days after the defensive end scored his first NFL touchdown. Schottenheimer said a Marshawn Kneeland Memorial Fund has been established by Kneeland's family and management team to support Catalina and the baby. Kneeland began dating Mansara during his sophomore year at Western Michigan University. Mansara had recently founded a custom game day apparel brand. Several of the company's featured designs, modeled by Mansara, included Kneeland's name, photo, and jersey number. Mansara was reportedly one of the last people Kneeland was in contact with. Cowboys players plan on wearing a helmet decal to honor the passing of Kneeland. Players and coaches will also wear special T-shirts for the next two games, Monday night at Las Vegas and November 23rd against the Eagles, showing support for Kneeland. The Cowboys will have a moment of silence and a video tribute for Kneeland at their next home game against Philadelphia. In other news, the longest shutdown in U.S. history is over, a welcome sign for North Texas's two biggest airlines, looking to recover from a turbulent week of air travel. American Airlines and Southwest Airlines, two of the major domestic carriers in the country, are reeling from the Federal Aviation Administration's order to cut flights to alleviate stress on the airspace system. According to flight tracking site FlightAware, DFW International Airport had a total of 36 cancellations, while Dallas Love Field had a total of 24. After a tough 5-day stretch, cancellations for both airlines were starting to slow Wednesday, according to data on flight tracking site FlightAware. Southwest, which is headquartered at Love Field, had 144 cancellations by mid-Wednesday, leading all major U.S. carriers. United Airlines had 63, and Delta had 32. American Airlines, which operates its central hub at DFW Airport, had just 4 cancellations in its mainline fleet, though FlightAware data showed some cancellations on the carrier's regional fleets operated by Piedmont Air, Envoy Air, and PSA Airlines. Next up, and then there were 3. Welcome to Y'all Street, Nasdaq, Texas, a new exchange building on Nasdaq's existing presence in the state. Nasdaq announced its intention to launch a dual listing venue based in Texas at the 8th annual Permian Basin Barbecue Cook-Off Wednesday in Midland. The announcement came at the end of a landmark year for capital markets in Texas. Earlier this year, competitor the New York Stock Exchange launched NYSE Texas, while the upstart Texas Stock Exchange declared itself last year before receiving approval from the U.S. Securities and Exchange 6 weeks ago. And Dallas voters will now cast their votes for City Council in November instead of May, ending the trend of back-to-back elections in odd years. The Dallas City Council voted unanimously to approve the election date changes amid applause in the council chambers. In a news conference after the vote, Council member Chad West, who lauded the 15-0 vote, and David De La Fuente, his appointee to the Charter Commission who pitched the measure, celebrated the approval with several leaders from various business and civic groups. Supporters of the measure say consolidating the elections can reduce the city's recurring expenses, cut down on voter fatigue, and increase participation in elections that have rarely seen more than 10% of the city's registered voters weigh in on issues as important as picking their representatives in the city government. The move comes a year after a majority of the city's voters gave a resounding seal of approval to moving elections. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from the Dallas Morning News.